Good evening, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm looking at the sunset today. I am back in, should come uncover my microphone, but I'm back in the park, Bethel Heritage Park. I guess I haven't done something from here for a while, but wow, yeah, there's my Cadillac. I just think I put on about 6.5 kilometers. And now I'm just sitting and resting. Well, it's just a great evening. But it's the first evening that I've had mosquitoes bug me. Yeah, it's a bug. It's a mosquito. It bugged me. but you know something? It's all good. I been talking to farmers on Twitter, all kinds of discussions going on. Of course, we have the We charity in some kind of difficulty. Well, they laid everybody off. It's the federal government that's in difficulty, but that's not what I want to talk about today. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about today, but I took a long ride. I went through the ball diamonds. In fact, I was going to do a podcast from the ball diamonds, 2004, when we moved to Winkler. I started to umpire. I'd umpired since way back when, 1958, when I did my first final game in the Pembina Valley Fastball League. Can figure out, I was born in 1946, how old I was then. Ump the bases. You bet. Plum Coulee Braves against Bloomstein something or other, I'm not sure, but Hank Weeb, Dick Weeb, John Penner, a bunch of other people. It was the final game of the, but I was too young to go to the banquet. But driving around the ball diamonds, through the ball diamonds, was an absolute wonderful experience. A lot of good memories, and it's just I remember a girls high school tournament. Laurel was playing, and I had by that time already moved. I hadn't been taking my certification, so I wasn't able to apply to umpire anywhere, but if I did get a call, then I could go. So that particular day, it was in June, I believe, maybe end of May, at a ball tournament at those ball diamonds, and it snowed almost the whole day, just a few, gently falling flakes, and I imagine I have some pictures of that because it was awesome. I was umpiring from behind the home base and the whole diamond, and it was cool, but it didn't necessarily wetten the field down. It just melted, and in fact, maybe it didn't even hit the ground. But we had snow on a number of those games, and it was interesting. I remember all kinds of, I umpired in the senior men's fastball league and umpired, as I said, the girls' fastball tournaments and so forth. And what a memory. And of course, I went back to 2000 when I started to umpire again after I had retired for 20 years. I umpired from 1957, 58, I guess, and right through until the year 1980. And that's when we started we're already going to Detroit Lakes, and it just, just too much hassle. We'd love to go at the end of June. The big July 1st tournament, of course, in Morden was on July the 1st. So my brother Jack already quit, I think, a year before. I did one more year, and then I retired. But, umpiring baseball, and I did some baseball, fastball and slow pitch, I loved it. I probably did in the neighborhood of 1,500 ball games. And some of them were in Altona, some were in Morden, some were in Winkler. I may have done the odd one in Winnipeg, but I doubt it. I know Laurel played at Bloomberg, the John Bloomberg ballpark, but I I never really did get to Umpire there. So it's just an interesting time when you look at what has transpired over those years. This year, of course, is just starting to get back into some ball. But I also have a service tomorrow morning over here at the Garden Park. Harold Espinosa, I believe, did last Sunday. I'm going to be taking every second Sunday on the foreseeable future. And tomorrow, and Bill Elias. Bill Elias will be helping with the service. He'll be doing the song leading, introduction, and sharing. And so I'm looking forward to getting back to those people because they haven't had the church service other than last Sunday since March. So that's tomorrow, and working on a passage of scripture, and I'm not quite sure yet which one I'm going to choose. I'm working on several, but in Matthew 25 verses 13, 12, thereabouts, the parable of the talents. I read it in part. You have the one, the hard task driving master. So he gave them all. One man he gave 10 talents, and another man he gave 5, and the last one he gave 1. Well, it didn't take long for the man with the 10 to double and come back to the master with 20. Wow, well done though. Great and good and faithful servant. And so I don't have all the details here, but the second one got 5. And he went and doubled the 5. And the last one, he took a cloth, handkerchief, and buried it in the garden. He didn't want to lose that one. He wanted to be able to go back to the master and give him the one that he had been given. Well, when he came to the master said, wow, this is not the way things work. In fact, he was not happy at all. And the reason I want to talk about that, there is so much fear. There is so much fear as far as the coronavirus, COVID-19 is concerned. Many people are possessed by fear itself. And you can read it on my Facebook timeline, where where somebody Eastern saying was told, where a man met the plague, and he says, "What are you doing?" "Well, I killed 5,000 people. The rest all died of fear." And and that's exactly what is happening. I went to Winnipeg this week, and I stayed overnight in a hotel, Victoria Inn. I've stayed there many times. And so I come there, and it looks like I'm about the only person there. Well, there were 25, 30, I'm not sure how many other people there. But I drove around, and all the hotels were empty. The airport has got very little activity, and businesses are boarded up. Stores and shops are boarded up in the city of Winnipeg. And a recent Winnipeg Chambers of Commerce, little senior moment there for a while. Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce did a survey some time ago, and 16% were closed, and up to 25% thought they would not survive. Well, when you see that few people in one big hotel, and you go and multiply that through all of Canada, you multiply that through the entire world, then you see what happens. Very little economic activity. But on the other side of it, maybe things will change forever. I don't know. Some people will be afraid to get on an airplane. And so Bill Elias at our breakfast this morning, he made a comment that he said, but look at it from the other side. All those people not spending money flying, not spending money in the hotels, And he mentioned they will be spending that money somewhere. Well, I gave that a second thought, and a lot of those people aren't flying and aren't doing business because there isn't any. So there may not be the kind of extra dollars that he was thinking about this morning. And I know Bill is astute with his calculator, and I'm sure with his pencil, and I give him credit for coming up with the idea, but it'll be interesting to see what will happen. Well, I've covered the gamut from umpiring mosquitoes. Yeah, I've got one that bit my thumb, and I'm going to have to look after that. Another one on my wrist. It's the first time I've been bitten this year by mosquitoes, but that's the joy of being out in the evening at 9:30, and that's the joy of living in Manitoba. But well, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say, tomorrow I've driven by a number of churches, some that are still closed, online only, others that are saying finally we're opening up, and as is the service at the place where I'm speaking tomorrow, Garden Park. So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. But the whole aspect of fear and what it's doing to you, and I think we as believers, if we're afraid, then we've got a real problem. Can you imagine those who have no faith? Where are they putting their trust when things aren't looking good? But God bless. Have yourself a great evening and a great Sunday. I'll be back sometime soon. That Siemens says, somewhere, sometime, I will see you again.